Okay, camp on time, baby. The Cowboys bringing in Terry Wilson. Oh, I forgot to add, he's 6'3", 202 pounds. Now, for those who don't know, he played for the University of Kentucky, and on his final eligibility year, he transferred to the New Mexico Lobos team. Now, what do Terry Wilson brings to the table? Terry Wilson brings this to the table. He's a versatile quarterback who can run the rock as well. His average completion percentage was right there at 63.3 when he played for the University of Kentucky as well as the New Mexico team. He threw for 4,000 yards collectively, and he also rushed for 1,000 yards in his stay at both programs. He is a guy that basically, I'm not going to put him as a one-read guy. He got a good arm, by the way. In one game, he threw for 3 touchdowns, of course, for 381 yards. And when he was in New Mexico, I think that was his second game ever. Nevertheless, the Cowboys need somebody to come in, to throw the ball around, and get familiar with these wide receivers. They trying to take a real good look at these wide receivers. And if you look at Terry Wilson's skill set, I believe that he brings some of the similar traits that Dak Prescott exhibits. Not saying that he's Dak Prescott, by the way, Cowboy Nation, but you always really want to pretty much have a quarterback that's similar to the starting quarterback so that the adjustments and everything else as far as the wide receivers, the skill sets and everything that the offense is trying to imitate, that it would not be this big vast of a difference, right? You don't want a pocket quarterback who sits in the pocket and you evaluate that with the wide receivers, and then you get a quarterback that moves around and move out of the pocket, and now your evaluations of said players different. Now, shout out to Terry Wilson for getting the opportunity to throw the ball around, so we will take a real good look at him when it's time for such. Now, this is basically a tryout. This is not, hey, we're going to give you the position. This is just a tryout. Now, normally, as an undrafted guy, right, you can look at it and say, man, this is everything. That's why I tell people all the time, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. So if Terry Wilson is prepared for this moment, then he should miss no passes. He shouldn't. He should be on his A game like he was in 2018 when he threw for pretty much 67 completion percentage, north of 1,800 yards. And, of course, his average attempt at that time was 7+ yards per throw. Ever since then, he's been pretty much scaling things back. I just look at it like this. His first time ever starting for the Kentucky team, University of Kentucky, it appears that he played more loosely. And that year he rushed for 562 yards. So get back to being loose. Don't get all tied up. And then think of this as well. The wide receivers that you're throwing to now, they are pro wide receivers or going to the pro. The wide receivers that you threw at in college, outside of Wandale Robinson, they were pretty much guys that will be working at Walmart and Payless and Best Buy somewhere. So now you got a chance and an opportunity to raise the level of competition and get out there and make something happen and be that camp on, because 9 times out of 10, this could be an opening, a doorway. And what I tell a lot of people is this right here. Let this be your resume, not just for the Cowboys. You got 31 other teams that's out there watching, looking, wanting to see whether or not they can get a quarterback on, right, for their camps or what have you. And then you elevate and move up the process from there. What a lot of people tend to do is they will look at a player as if that is where they at and that's where they forever will be. No, look up the Kurt Warner story. Sometimes you have to start off from the bottom. You continue to climb your way up to the top. Continue to work on the small things. Go into this situation with an open mind, saying to yourself, I'm trying to learn everything I can, and I'm competing against everybody else that's throwing the ball. So Terry Wilson, you guys know I'll always root for the underdog. I hope that he have a fantastic camp and he get out there and showcase to the world that his camp arm is the best. That's the reality of it. And don't count yourself out, Terry Wilson. Just get out there, roll your sleeves up, and let everybody know that this is competition time. And whatever happened in college, that happened in college. Now it's time for the pros level and get back to that high QB rating that you had in your first year, 133 QB rating. Just play loosely. You just never know what can happen for you, Terry Wilson. I'm rooting for you, man. Continue to grind. Hey, 27 touchdowns throwing the ball in your college career and 11 touchdown running. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, bro. So that's the positive aspect of it. Be you, be unique, and tell the Jones family that, hey, you're going to have to scrape and pull me off this field because I'm going to make an impact. I'm coming for that number one spot, even though I'm at the bottom. And the only way you can do that and get that done is with your mind. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And, of course, your grind. You got to grind and get it, right? And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go, Terry. Go, Terry. Let's go.